the country, and of course you have the position having a control in a number of states and also in Parliament. So as a result, corruption became a major political agenda of both opposition and government, and MECC was perceived to be selective in the investigation. Reacting to this proposal, this structure scenario, we forwarded a proposal to the government to have a more independent structure with more powers to fight corruption and to have some structural change. Now, what was the resultant effect? Okay. Today, you see, MECC. Think about this. MECC today is responsible to 5 external bodies. We are the only law enforcement agencies in the world where we have 5 external bodies, all in their 46 members of civil society having a say in how we run our affairs. This is the Anti-Corruption Advisory Board, the Special Committee on Corruption, making up of members from government and opposition, the Complaints Committee, the Operational Review Panel, and the Consultation and Corruption Prevention Panel. Now, I just want to go into one of these major panels. It is called the Operational Review Panel, because I'm a major participant in this panel, in the sense that for the moment, I think nobody wants my job, because this panel meets 8 times a year, and in every of these meetings, we probably have to make presentations to this panel in respect of the investigation. So it's like studying for a public exam. There will be about 60 cases to be presented during every meeting. And we have to explain to members of this panel what happened to a particular investigation. If it exceeds 12 months, we have to explain. If we have arrested someone and someone is released on bail exceeding 12 months, we have to explain. If for some reason the public prosecutor declined to prosecute a case while MECC recommends that there's a case of prosecution, then the panel will want to know the reason, and they want to review the paper to define there's sufficient evidence. Besides this, the panel can also make suggestions that certain investigation needs further inquiry, and they will direct us to do so. So you can see that this is a check and balance mechanism. Members of the Operational Review Panel, among the members, of course, our Tan Sri Hadinan is our ex-Auditor General. Then you have a Professor of Accounting from the ITM. Then you have one of the President of the Institute of Accountant Malaysia, Muhammad Nasruddin. Besides that, we have one member on the board of the Institute of Assurance Standards Malaysia. All in there were 7 of them, and they, gentlemen, they really grilled us. So it is no joke to appear before this operational review panel, where we have to be able to account and give explanation to them on our investigation. Okay. In addition, of course, we have the Anti-Advisory Board. The Anti-Advisory Board has also requested sometimes on updates of certain public issues, and they will ask MECC to explain. There are certain cases where, although the term of reference were in respect of cases in 2009 onwards, the MECC, in the midst of transparency, has also undertaken to explain to them certain cases on what happened in the past. Besides that, we have the Complaints Committee. This looks into complaints of misconduct against the MECC officers which are non-criminal in nature. Then we have the Special Committee on Corruption. Now what happened is that every year the MECC has to submit an annual report to this Special Committee on Corruption. The Special Committee on Corruption is made up by members from the opposition, members of government, and also from the upper house. And they can seek clarification and explanation from MECC. The last time this committee, there was 7 of them. There were 3 from Barisan Nasional, 1 from the DAP, 1 from PKR, 1 from PAS. This is the composition, and 1 was from the upper house. They were all in 7 of them. Now, What I want to stress is this check and balance mechanism ensures that we perform our duties in independent, transparent, and a professional manner, and we need to fulfill the public expectations in executing our designated legal obligations. Of course, in terms of prosecution, you only have the power to investigate, but not the power to prosecute, which lies in the Attorney General. MACC today emphasizes three major strategies to fight corruption. Of course, most of you are aware of this: enforcement, community education, and prevention. Okay. Now, what is important is, most of you are probably aware that MACC lately we have experienced a very challenging times. This is of course due to the political scenario. If previously complaints and allegations were made against members of the ruling government, after 2008 the scenario has changed, whereby we find that allegations and complaints also made against members of opposition who are now who have now taken control in several states. Now, this of course led to allegations that we are biased, and there were allegations of selective prosecution. And then when we investigate members from the opposition parties who used to be in the opposition parties, they claim that this was harassment. Events of course took a turn for the worse when one of our key witnesses in the corruption investigation, Teo Beng Hock, died in custody. We sympathize with him and his family, and the government subsequently established a Royal Commission of Inquiry to look into this matter. As a result from the Royal Commission of Inquiry, the RCI made 62 recommendations. MACC has implemented all of them save for 3, which deals with legal matters. Among the recommendations of the RCI, of course, is that we need to improve on our techniques of interview and interrogation, our procedures of investigation, especially on search and seizure, and we have gone to make sure that we have set up video recording rooms to enable suspects sessions of questioning to be videotaped. Besides this, of course, we have to revamp our training curriculum and contents. Now, MACC today is becoming more people-focused in the sense that we are trying to create a public on our side. Besides that, of course, we network with government departments and industries. We emphasize on strong and effective professional support, internationalization and cooperation. We have launched our Aspiration, recognizing the need, of course, to revise negative public perception and to reposition public confidence in the MACC. Our methods, of course, we are multi-pronged in our approach. We not only look at one angle, we look at various angles. We not only go after offense, we go after properties, we go after properties hidden in Malaysia, properties hidden overseas. We build up financial profiles of people, and then we seize properties as a result of corruption. Okay. Of course, MACC in his work, we have also make a lot of engagement with civil society in the sense that we work together with corporations, we conduct integrity courses, and we help in the pushing for 2 instruments of anti-corruption in corporate sector, that is the integrity pledge and of course the corporate integrity pledge. MACC has also worked closely with NTRA in the identification of initiatives. Today you will see that special anti-corruption courts have been established. You have the Whistleblower Protection Act, you have the Witness Protection Act, and then we have introduced a name and shame database where offenders that were charged and committed in courts will have the particulars displayed on our portal. There is a reward and recognition scheme in respect to the reporting of corruption. Okay, our success, of course, can be seen from statistics. These are statistics of our arrest, statistics of forfeiture, collection of fines, and of course, conviction rate. 85%. We are on par with the ICAC Hong Kong. And then that was until July. I understand that today, until September, we have reached 89% convicted rate. In fact, that has exceeded that the performance of the ICAC Hong Kong. Okay, these are some of cases, recent cases. Arbitrator is like a judge. He faced a 6 million corrupt rat. This is Dato Sachu of the KPFQ, the ex-CEO of Sandabi Group. Of course, then you have K. Toyo. Now, this was ex-Bank Negara. Ex-Bank Negara assistant governor. This happened, this offence was linked to an offence in Australia. It was done with the help of the Australian Federal Police. Australia charged about 11 persons, if I can recall. MACC charged 2 persons. Okay. Now, putting that aside, of course, I just want to show you what are the problems we face. Okay. Level of confidence, of course, has increased because we make a lot of efforts towards it. Okay. Challenges. The problem with corruption is that it becomes the problem of corruption. You know, the problem with corruption is become the problem of corruption because corruption itself is a problem by itself. You know, I take for example, you know, like you have street hawkers in Malaysia. They employ illegal Indonesian workers. Now everybody knows that, but the enforcement authorities, they know that this is something tolerated by members of public. So what happened? The hawkers believe that he can get away because enforcement is not consistent. The law enforcer knows that they are asked to do something that is probably impractical and it's not manageable. So he does everybody a favor. He allows for violation to continue in return for a reward. So you see, the tolerance level of corruption is very high. Of course, the next one is the negative public perception. Rising expectation, demands. The people like to tell us who to investigate, who should be charged. Okay. And then the other thing is, of course, the trans nature of corrupt offence. People are hiding their money overseas. Okay. And then people make use of us, you know. When they're in trouble, they come and look for us. That is what's happening in Malaysia public today. They make sure that when they report to MCC, they bring along an entourage. They bring along media. They want to shame and shame people before an investigation starts. This is what happens in Malaysia. This is a typical example. It tells MCC, police group, Nazri, on a perceived offence of corruption. Okay. This is lastly what I would like to say. Preventing corruption in all walks of life is not a sole responsibility. Please don't just look at us when there's corruption. You have a responsibility not to engage, not to partake in, and not to encourage corruption. Okay. Let's make a difference, fight corruption, turn the tide. Thank you.